All right, Ken, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you. Good to be here again. Let's get right into this market. So we've been putting a lot of content out about the price reductions that we're seeing across the board in all the markets that we serve. It really feels like the last two and a half weeks, it's finally turned. Tell me what you're feeling.
It does feel like it is a more widespread acknowledgement that the market has shifted. So even if we go back a little bit before that, we were talking about what we were feeling and seeing, and it was almost like some of the real estate community thought we were trying to pick a fight and say, you know, Chicken Little, the sky is falling and the world's coming to an end. And all we were doing is saying, hey, stay in touch with buyers because things are going to get a little bit easier for them each month that goes by. And we thought we were spreading the good news, right? We ended up picking a few fights.
That happens in this environment right now. You know, it happens. People get testy quickly. So the amount of price reductions isn't at any sort of all-time high or anything like that.
Oh, no.
But it just points to the fact of we're past the peak.
Yeah, I think
there's not going to be another surge up. It's over.
Correct. So I quantify it easy because I've got a really fast and easy way to find out what inventory is doing out here in the Valley in Maricopa County. So if you go 4 weeks ago, inventory has doubled. That's a great thing. Now, we're not saying that the bottom's going to fall out, but that number that we're at now is still a third of what we'd like it to be to make it easier for people to buy a home. So we're heading in the right direction.
Okay, so everybody is starting to understand what's going on here a little bit more each day. Talk to me about the Dow, the NASDAQ. What do you got there? Real quick. I think we had some numbers.
It's no mystery, right? Why homes might be sitting on the market a little more, or your analogy that we're at the top of the hill as far as the pace of which homes are going to go up in value. That is in the rearview mirror. But all of this is being driven, right? We have inflation that it's affecting everybody's pocketbook, gas, groceries, everything's more expensive. Credit card balances are growing nationally. So we've got that part factored in. Interest rates, when you're looking to buy a home, my God, they've doubled in 4 or 5 months. So those are the real cost measures. And then you get to the psychological part, which is now people are starting to see their investment accounts go down for the first time where the prior 2 years we had a pretty steady incline. So you've got reality, and then you got the psychology part of, even though I may not be touching those funds, I don't feel the same as I did a month or 6 weeks ago. Me no liking.
No bueno.
No, no bueno.
So the younger demographic, our first-time home buyer demographic, is really being punished right now by this market. Something like 28% of purchases are being done by first-time home buyers. That's low, but
yeah, healthy's 33 to 35%. That's what we really need to get to, especially given the demographics of the folks that are driving a lot of the demand.
Crypto's down 27, or Bitcoin's down 27% in the last month. So all these young kids that were talking Bitcoin, crypto, Ethereum, all that stuff, that's right in there with the tech stocks of just getting punished. And this isn't about doom and gloom.
No.
This is about reality, and how do we find some opportunities in here for some folks who have been sitting on the sidelines for a long period of time, getting punished by their rents increasing year over year or every 6 months or whatever the term is that they're on.
Yeah, that's where my excitement about what's going on is really about that segment, meaning that you're right. It's just been body blows for those people that wanted to buy and couldn't. All right, I'll rent for a little while longer. Okay, well, no free lunch there. That's getting jacked up on you. Okay, mom and dad will help out a little, but I still can't compete because of the cash offers being high or over asking price. All we're doing is saying that stuff's just going to mellow out a little bit, and get back to paying attention to that, or raise the awareness to go, okay, I might have a chance here, unlike I did before in the upcoming months. So that to me is super exciting.
I just sent a text to a local realtor here in the Sarasota market. Have you written any appraisal gaps in the last week on your offers? And he just responded back, no, he has not. So we talked about that, or I put a post out on that maybe a week and a half ago. And boy, did I take some. Yeah.
Well, that's the part, that we get. I think we get a little bit of a head start on the real estate community, meaning the real estate agents, because we're talking to more people than what they are, and we get just a slightly different angle about what they're really feeling and what they're thinking, and the finances.
The psychology of the buyer.
Oh man, yes. I mean, you go from 2 months ago, I can't wait to buy, this is the greatest thing ever, I may not win, but now everybody just has a sense of hesitance, or, hey, let me make sure that I understand what's going on because I'm nervous.
All right, so let's get into the good stuff. Inventory is increasing. Price reductions are happening.
Days on market is increasing.
Days on market, you have more time to think about what it is that you might want to do, or you're going to get maybe a night or two to sleep on it, which that hasn't been the case for 6 to 9 months. We believe, we hope that we've seen interest rates on the mortgages peak. Somewhere they got to about 5.5%, 5.6%. Today we're back down around 5.2, 5.3, somewhere in that range. So we have home prices that are going to slowly come down a bit. Interest rates should stabilize. We believe the inflation component of this is going to start to ease up as we get into September, October, November. So we've got to get everybody ready again, because that's right around the corner. It's 4th of July in about a blink of the eyes. Yep. And then it's back to Labor Day and kids are in school, and here we go again. So there's a lot of positives that are coming in that extra days on market and no multiple offer situations is huge.
We just out here, this week we had a purchase agreement come across, and they actually got an offer accepted less than the asking price. And all of that is good, again, for that first time home buyer community. We haven't seen a purchase agreement where the sellers agreed to pay some of the buyer's closing costs in the better part of a year. And if we go back to 2018 and 19, that was a very common occurrence. It's a huge benefit to the home buyer if they can hang on to a few bucks after they get into the home. So those are the things that, again, I'm excited that we're getting closer to that point than further away.
All right. So a lot of people that are going to watch this have kids in that 18 to 20 to 22 to 24 range. Those are the folks that we need to be speaking with to help them start to build out their game plan of whether it's the credit score improvement or obtaining credit, budgeting and spending properly, and getting themselves in the right frame of mind of how they're supposed to go on to take on the rest of their 20s. They're getting ready to get married. They're getting ready to possibly have children. They have to figure out how to get into a home and not be subject to whatever it is the landlord is telling them every 11 months. I got to move again. I got to think about moving again. It's a lot.
So in this last year, we'll call it, our attention has gone a lot towards financial literacy or just awareness of that. So you said, kids that are 18 to 20 getting ready to get ready. This also applies to parents that have kids that are 16, 17, of, again, building a credit foundation, getting a bank account established, ingraining the concept of a job and saving a few bucks. All of that stuff, the earlier you start talking about that within a household, the easier these adjustments are adapting to the environment is going to be as you get down the road.
Confidence. How do we help them be confident in the decisions? Let's just look at the next 6 months here. It's going to be still some of the dust settling here. How do we help people make good, solid decisions based on their situation right now?
If we go back to the first time home buyer concept, because that I think that's super applicable to this group. You had said that property values, I don't know the first time home buyer bucket that property values are going to come down, but I think the pace of increase is going to slow down substantially. So when we look at that, if you've saved up money, if your credit's in a spot and you have a family and situation where it's time to do that, I think that you should still have confidence in proceeding forward. Meaning that even if property values stay the same, the benefits of home ownership, having a place that you can say is your own, establishing some roots, not needing to move every 12 months, I think there's strong merit there that if you've done the right thing, don't let this chaos in the marketplace deter you from moving forward. And then obviously we've got people that are being relocated. You really don't have a choice there. And then, another big spot that we see is, families expanding, and sometimes you don't have a choice there. You got to go when you have to go.
So the swings of the mortgage interest rates, even if you purchase in the next 6 months, you're going to have an opportunity, we believe, sometime in the near next 24 months.
Yeah.
That we believe there'll be some slight easing of that to help out as well.
Yeah, the interest rate's a period of time, right? The house that you buy, that's more permanent. That's where old guys like us get the benefit of the doubt, where we've seen scenarios where people
normal
just
appreciation is what?
3.5% to 4% a year.
Not 10, not 15, not 18.
Well, that quick 20. Math, just real quick, I use safe numbers, right? You buy a home for 300 grand. I'll just use 3% because that's easy math. That means that home's going to go up in value $9,000 a year. You're going to pay the mortgage down by $5,000 a year. So at the end of year one, your net worth is $14,000 higher than if you're renting. So even conservative numbers, home ownership is a big deal.
That doesn't mean you need to do it next month.
No.
Or the month after. That's not what we're trying to say. We're trying to say, get ready. Get your ducks in a row.
It's just like the crypto thing, right? I mean, a lot of the excitement about that is to get rich quick. And if you're looking and saying, I want to buy a house because I want 18 to 20% appreciation, that's ridiculous. That was a super abnormal period of time. But 3 to 4%, that's like clockwork.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, please share this with our younger demographic. We want your first-time buyers. We want your first-time children or grandchildren. We want to be able to help them get their ducks in a row and get ready to get into home ownership, whether it's now or 2 years from now.
All right, man. Hey, thanks.
Man. Thanks, Ken. Bye-bye.